Okay, so let's get into it. The Waukesha Christmas parade shooting. What a mess. This happened. I had just gone to bed and I start getting all these messages on my phone about this. And then I see the video of the car just driving through people. It's just mind-blowing. And it's so stupid. I'm checking 4chan, I'm checking Twitter to see what's going on, and the amount of misinformation, the just so obvious misinformation, like right away, on every side, on both sides, people were saying, it's a black guy who did it. And other people were saying, it's a white guy who did it. And it's like, why are you saying this? You have no idea who it is. You don't know the race of the person. It could be Indian guy, could be a Chinese guy. So everyone who was just saying that right off the bat, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. And so it wound up being a black guy. But there were so many people who were saying it was a white guy on Twitter, and these are obvious lefties, and they start posting a picture of a white guy in this red SUV, and like this is the guy. Like, we have picture evidence of this guy. I'm looking at this picture, and I can't show it to you because it's some guy who's innocent and has nothing to do with this situation. But I'm looking at the picture, and I can see in the background, it's nighttime in this picture. But the incident took place, because I saw in the video, during the daytime. So how are you saying that this picture of this white guy at night in the vehicle is the guy who ran these people over? It was so obviously a fake picture. It was just an obvious fake picture. And eventually they show the real picture, and you can tell it's a black guy. It's hard to see who he is. And then there's someone who calls up some news organizations talking about it was a black guy with dreads, and so on and so forth. Currently, they're saying it was three guys. I don't know if that's true. They say they have one guy in custody. Excuse me, I got my allergies kicking in right now. And they had pictures of the vehicle. Apparently, the guy parked it like 5 miles away, I think at his house or something. The front of the hood's all smashed up, and he just parks it in front of his house. There are so many issues with what happened with this attack. It's an attack, is what it is. People are trying to... Well, let me just get into it with 4chan. 4chan was predicting right off the bat that, liberals are going to say it's a white guy. They're going to say it's a white guy. They're going to say it's a white guy. And not only did they say it was a white guy, then they started posting a picture of a white guy all over Twitter. I even found a video. This guy makes YouTube videos, news videos, breaking news videos, and he's showing the picture of the white guy. Oh, this is the picture of him. And I'm sitting there the whole time going, wait a minute, this picture's not the real picture. Like, didn't you just hear the audio of the guy saying that he witnessed it and it was a black guy? Like, calm down with showing a picture of some random white guy. You don't know what's going on. And I'm not going to show this guy's YouTube for 1,000 different reasons, besides the fact that I lost his video. But, so then it turns out to be a black guy. So then people on 4chan are saying that the liberal media is going to say that it has nothing to do with BLM. This is, what was it, Waukesha? Am I saying that right? Wisconsin. Okay, we just had the Kyle Rittenhouse trial with the riots from Kenosha, Wisconsin, and this is some sort of holiday Christmas parade of some type. So, it's basically a Christian religious parade, and there's no connection. You don't think it's possible there's a connection? I mean, until we know, we don't know, but still, to say that there's no connection between this guy, who first you're saying is a white guy, and then turns out to be a black guy, and no connection between him and BLM, and then of course all over his website there's all kinds of he's into BLM. He even writes about how to run people over and get away with it. Like, I don't even understand how this is on his social media. Apparently, he just got out of jail. I don't know, days ago, weeks ago, something like that. Like, the guy's got a long criminal history, like all of these idiots do. And it's pretty obvious that this is some sort of retaliation for the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. And 4chan's saying it is that 4chan's, they're going to say it's a white guy, and the liberal media says it's a white guy. They're going to say that it has nothing to do with BLM. It has everything to do with BLM. And then they say, okay, well, now that we found out it was a black guy, they're going to say, well, he was really just running away from police. And so it's the police's fault for pursuing him. Like, what a ridiculous twist. This is what I'm hearing. They're saying that they're going to say on 4chan. 4chan's saying the liberal media is going to say this. And liberal people on Twitter. I should say leftist people, not liberal, but whatever. And then all of a sudden I'm start reading that. Oh, the police were chasing him. He was just trying to run away. It's the police's fault. This holiday parade massacre. It's the fault of the police. Like, seriously? And everything 4chan said was going to happen is what happened. And I'm just sitting there like, no, this can't happen. This is too stupid. This is too stupid. This can't happen. There's no way the liberal media will use that obvious excuse. And then they used it. Well, the details are, slowly coming out because no one ever wants to say anything about it. Like, they have the guy in custody, and they don't want to say anything about him. Who he is, his race, anything. If it was a white guy, that would have been, of course. I mean, like I said, they were already putting pictures of a white guy out there when it wasn't even a white guy. And it's just amazing. It's amazing how 4chan was just saying this is what the media, the corporate media, is going to say. And then the corporate media did exactly that. And there's a reason why these 4chan users know this, because they've seen them do it over and over again. And the worst part about that, this whole situation is, this is a hate crime. This is an attack on white people because they're white. And here's the worst part. It's not an attack on white people by black people. That's not what happened. These BLM affiliates were just a useful tool by those in the media. They created this whole situation from start to finish. It all goes back to this right here, the shooting of Jacob Blake. This shooting is so ridiculous. The media came right out and said the cop shot an unarmed black man in the back. This is always their story. Every single this guy is the most innocent black guy on the planet, and he never did anything wrong. And the media just puts it out there. And if I'm black and I'm watching this, I'm going, Jesus, why are these cops doing this? And then it turns out, of course, that he was resisting arrest. They tasered him. He puts the cop in a headlock. And then they say things like he wasn't even being violent. Like, he's putting a cop in a headlock. How is that not violent? And then he's going to his car to get a knife. And the cop's yelling at him, put the knife down. And he turns around with the knife in his hand. And then the cop shoots him. And I guess, when you're getting shot, you probably put your hands up and turn backwards so he gets some bullets in the back or in the side or whatever. And the media's just like, cop shoots black guy in the back. Innocent, totally innocent black guy. And of course, that's not what happened. And first of all, race really has nothing to do with it. But the problem is the media makes this all about race. If this was a white guy who got shot, no one would care. And then the amount of, look at this. This is what the media said. No federal charges against officer who shot and paralyzed Jacob Blake. You mean the criminal who was trying to stab a cop? Why doesn't it say anything about that here? You're just trying to present this in a way where it riles people up. That's what you're trying to do. That's what this media, these corporate media hacks are trying to do. It's unacceptable. Father of Jacob Blake reacts to the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. What's unacceptable? Isn't it unacceptable that you raised your son in such a way where he's trying to stab cops? It's unacceptable that some kid was shot people in self-defense. That's not unacceptable at all. Why is this a news article? Who are you trying to stir up? What are you trying to make happen? Sad day for justice in America. Jacob Blake's family responds to the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. What do you mean it's a sad day for justice in America? Your son was shot because he was trying to stab a cop. Resisting arrest couldn't have been more violent. The media is saying he's not violent, he's shot in the back. I mean, he starts getting shot and he runs away. At one point, Jacob Blake talks about how, in an interview, I don't know if I have it here, he talks about, while I was being shot, I put my hands up and the cop just kept on shooting. The cop unloaded his gun, however many bullets it was, 4 or 8, whatever it was, in less than a second. You're acting like this was a long, drawn-out process. Boom. No, please stop. Boom again. Oh, wait, I got my hands up. Boom. It probably went like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 shots before you even put your hands up. It's ridiculous. He won't face civil rights charges. Why would he face civil rights charges? The cop was doing his job. Why are you saying this? Who are you trying to rile up? What are you trying to make happen? ABC News? Whatever happened to the man whose police shooting sparked the Kenosha riots? He's learning to walk again. So now we're supposed to sympathize with this guy who's got a long record of abuse and so on and so forth, like all these idiots do. And you're trying to make me feel bad for this guy. Well, I feel bad about all human suffering. But this guy tried to kill a cop. All right? Amongst many other crimes, why he was even called to the scene, a warrant out for arrest, everything. Why are you trying to make me feel bad for this guy? Why are you trying to put it out there in the media for all the people to feel like there's this great injustice that was done? Because you're trying to incite a riot. The media is trying to incite a riot. Why are they trying to incite a riot? Because they're trying to stir things up. They want more bad things to happen. Well, they got what they asked for. The media created a riot, and then people in that riot, white people by the way, attacked another person, a white man, 17-year-old, and he shot them in self-defense. And then the media immediately put out 3 black men shot. Black men? What? Where? Who? What black men? There was no black men shot. There was 3 white guys shot. And that, some people are still walking around, probably this guy, thinking, well, he shot 3 black men. Why are you putting that out there? What are you trying to make happen? Another riot? And so now this guy, don't want to be the next George Floyd, I don't want to die. Well, why are you resisting arrest? Why are you getting a knife? Why are you grabbing a knife when a cop's trying to arrest you? You don't want to be the next George Floyd. George Floyd didn't even grab a knife. You're worse than George Floyd. You're much, much worse than... Like, he's trying to compare himself to George Floyd. That's what he's trying to do. Another saint, I'm sure. So the media creates this false narrative, which creates a riot, which puts a person in a position where they now have to use a gun to defend themselves. And then the media uses that to create another false narrative. 3 black men were shot. And then Kyle Rittenhouse has his day in court, and he is found innocent on all charges because watch the video for 5 seconds and you see it's a clear case of self-defense. Do we have a Second Amendment in America? Are we allowed to defend ourselves in America? Well, when I'm watching that hearing, the Kyle Rittenhouse hearing, I'm wondering what's going to happen, because if he goes to jail, then I'm not allowed to defend myself. That's exactly what I'm thinking. People I like are saying stupid things like, why was he even there? Why can't you be there? Why can't I walk down any street at any time of day without any fear of violence? I pay my taxes. Isn't that what we pay the government for? To protect us? Why can't I be anywhere I want? Oh, you know you're going to get hurt. So you're blaming the person who gets raped instead of blaming the rapist. That's basically what you're doing. Kyle Rittenhouse had every right to be there, as any American does. And he has every right to carry his gun in a violent riot when he's trying to help people. And he was found innocent, justified self-defense. And now this guy, who, what's his name? Did I have his name here? He's part of BLM. He's probably all radicalized. BLM, which is a terrorist organization. I mean, if there are BLM riots, and a riot is, destroying a city, then that's a terrorist act. For political reasons, it's a terrorist act. So anyway, this guy, he decides to run people over in some holiday parade. And then immediately starts seeing stupid things like, no, he tried to avoid running people over. See the way he swerved? One video doesn't really show what he was swerving away from, but there was a car in the way. So he was swerving around that car and then back so that he was positioned to line up not only people in the parade, but there was one line of people who were younger, but they were kids. And he was aiming for the kids. That's what it was. Why did he go from here to here? To get around that car and then get to the kids and run them over. I don't know how many people died at this point. A lot. Too many. And how many people were injured. I think they said 40 last count. And this isn't a attack on white people from black people. This is an attack on white people from the corporate media. The corporate media created this. This is what they've been trying to do all along. And they're not going to stop. This is what they've been doing. That's why 4chan, they predicted everything as it was going to happen. And I watched it going, no, that's not going to happen. They're not going to blame the cops for this. They blame the cops. And that's probably where this will wind up in the end. In the end, they'll probably say he was being chased by cops from some other crime, and the cops pursued him, and it's the cops' fault for pursuing him. So he went through this parade, just happened to be a holiday Christian parade, and just happened to run a bunch of people over. Look, the media caused this. This is what they want. This is what they're going to do again and again and again until they're held accountable. 4chan apparently is right about everything. I don't want that to be the case, but last night they were right about everything. I don't know who that white guy is they kept showing this picture of. He should sue everybody. And there are still people on Twitter saying the dumbest things. Just the dumbest things. This is what we're dealing with, people. That's my take on the situation.